Hello, avid readers, book nerds, and casual observers. Welcome to the read-along brought to you by the Lit Round Table. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Anna, and this is our read-along of The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. This is Book 2 of the Broken Earth trilogy. Welcome to Week 5.
Week 5.
We're talking about Chapter 13 and that interlude. Holy moly.
The interlude. Hoa, are you okay?
I think he is not.
He is.
I think he is scarier than we thought.
He is a little murder child. So we'll get there.
Yeah, let's start with Essen first.
Man, Chapter 13.
So Chapter 13 is called You Amid the Relics. No, You Amid Relics. No, just relics.
Yeah.
So Alabaster's clearly one of the relics. No, he's not, but he could be.
Yeah. So we have a few interesting things. We've got the main parts were in the beginning, Essen training the kids. And then we have the talk with Alabaster, and then we've got the Tonkee stuff in the control room.
Right.
So
Let's start with the kids.
Yeah.
Let's go in order.
Essen training the kids. It's really sad to see her be train them the same way that she was training Nassun. It's just icky.
But she has. It is icky. It's not quite as harsh as.
No, she hasn't broken any
Nassun, I don't think.
hands yet, but
No, but she also has a moment of reflection of she realized as she was training Nassun that probably was too harsh, and so she was being kinder to Uche.
Yeah.
As she was training him, but she hadn't apologized to Nassun yet because she didn't think she would understand yet.
How to speedrun your child resenting you 101.
Right. It's like, dude, if you should have the minute you figured out that it was bad, you should have apologized to her because she knew it was bad.
And you're never going to have your child's trust again.
No.
That is so gone.
And so it's hard to hear that she is already remorseful.
Yeah,
the opportunity has passed.
Feels bad for it. Wished she had apologized, but didn't. And she at the time, it says that she had thought that Nassun's survival would have been her way of, hopefully she was hoping that Nassun would appreciate her in the end, when she was a survivor and all this stuff. But it's no, because here she is in the middle of a season, still alive. She's a survivor
without you.
But she still hates you because, of everything. So that's rough.
And super valid.
Mm-hmm. If my mom
because
broke
she
my
also
hand...
knows. Well, she also knows that her mom just destroyed Torimo.
Right. Yeah. Destroyed the hometown.
Yeah. So all this time you were trying to tell me to be safe, and then you just obliterated our city.
Iced everyone.
What?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that whole situation is sad. All the kids hate her now, and she knows that they hate her, but she's okay with it because she wants them to be survivors. And again, she's they'll thank me when the calm turns on them and they know what to do. It's man, lady.
Maybe, but geez Louise.
So cynical.
Yeah. I mean, she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Which is not saying that what she's doing is okay. It's just...
It's not
a... see where that comes from.
It's not an excuse. It's an explanation.
No. Right. But then, it was so validating when she's down complaining to Alabaster about it. And he's like, dude, they don't have the capability for this. Mm-hmm. You're wasting your time. Leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just going to be stone pushers.
Which is also pretty cynical of him. But but also, I think he has a better grasp on like what or who can be pushed and who
Right.
to just let them be as they are.
He knows he
You
can
know what I
like
mean?
yeah, I mean he can identify the ones that show the most promise, but
Mm-hmm.
he also has a different perspective than Essen has. Essen is still kind of in season survival mode where she's prioritizing things that Alabaster is absolutely not caring about. Like he is
True.
all about catching that moon and
Yeah, yeah.
training her on this whole magic thing. Um,
Right.
and he's like, this is splitting your focus from your training, and it's not even
Mm-hmm.
benefiting them that much. So
Right.
you should focus more on the magic stuff because that is what's going to be the best in the long run. Which I can't say I disagree, but I think that like someone still needs to be training these kids so they don't like have a nightmare and ice their friend. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
But there are others
yeah.
in the com already that could be doing that.
But I think Essen thinks, and she's right, that she is the most qualified to train because she was a teacher, and she like
Right.
since Alabaster is kind of a cripple, she is the best origin there.
Yeah.
um, we did also get some
Yeah.
stuff about magic, like the way that the Fulcrum trained the origins was in a way
Oh
that kind of
man.
like handicapped their ability to use or to like identify magic because what they do, the whole energy redistribution thing, is like part of magic but not the whole thing, but it's like
Because they only train them to focus downward.
yeah.
Like only reach down, only send things down, never look up.
Yeah.
Which what an amazing allegory for how to suppress people,
Yeah.
how to oppress them and
Hmm.
make them believe that they're doing everything they can because
Hmm.
they're not looking where they need to look.
So really this is a story about like magic users being
Mm-hmm.
unknowingly like enslaved by a
Mm-hmm.
like quote higher power like the guardians. They've
Mm-hmm.
been made useful and they've been uh hamstrung into just it's like in a video game, you know, you've got
Mm-hmm.
like in a lot of video games you like level up, you've got these skill trees and you like progress up all these skill trees, and usually if it's like a magic thing like you can focus on all these different areas of magic. It's like they've only focused on one branch of the skill tree and they've like maxed
Mm-hmm.
it out, and everything else
Mm-hmm.
they like don't even know that the other things exist.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like this is now Essen playing catch up and trying to
Yeah.
figure out what these other abilities are that she
Yeah.
has.
Right.
So yeah.
But also, it's like totally an illusion for how the working class
Hmm.
is squashed.
I also kept thinking about Les Mis during that part. You know, look down.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah,
100%.
that song kept going through
Great
my head.
connection. Great connection.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
even though they've got these floating rocks in the sky, it's just crazy how things get like normalized and you just totally tone them out.
Yeah.
Like growing up, where we grew up, uh, there are train horns all the time,
Mm-hmm. You
and
just ignore them.
we just zoned them out. But now, whenever I visit home, I'm like, whoa, train, because I don't hear them every day anymore.
Yeah.
So I notice them now. So it's weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so she's like, tell me about the obelisk gate, and so we get like a little more of a glimpse into the plan, and how they're going to try to catch the moon. Alabaster reveals a little more about like the process in which he broke the continent and created the rift, and how he used the
Mm-hmm.
node maintainers. Oh, also another big revelation was the node maintainers were origin that had a high like propensity to detect magic, but
Mm-hmm.
because of that, they were too powerful, so they got whisked away to be node maintainers. And we know that that like totally like takes your humanity away, and you become just basically an object. But
Yeah.
because of that, like he kind of used them to help him with the rift thing. But it's so
Yeah.
sad because since they're pretty much running on just base instinct, they didn't know not to like try to stop the shockwave of the rift, so that the rift just killed them, which is like really heartbreaking, but also kind of a mercy in a twisted way,
Yeah, it's very complicated for sure.
because like they're not living, they're being used, and even if
Right.
you could rescue them, who's to say you could like rehabilitate?
Right.
We don't know. But we also learned that there are some node maintainers that are still alive that Alabaster can sense, like Southern Fulcrum, where Nasson is. There's
Mm-hmm.
apparently still node maintainers working down there. And to the west or east, I don't remember, there's like a town that they mention that still has some, and that's confusing to them why they're still around. Like the Rift missed them by a bit, but he thought that they still would have been taken out. And there might
Yeah.
still be some up north too, if I remember right. But anyway, so there's like little pockets of node maintainers that are still alive and being
Yeah.
maintained because someone has to care for them and like keep them
Right.
alive. So
Right.
civilization is persevering in some places,
Right.
but yeah, interesting stuff.
Very. Very, very. Um and then the Tonkee bit.
Hmm.
So Tonkee, not surprising, has been shirking her duties.
Yeah,
And apparently just exploring this, I don't even know what to call it now.
Obelisk Factory.
Calm. Yeah, what I don't know. Yeah, whatever it is. And she's found the command room
Yeah.
and has locked herself in there.
Yep.
And she also has I mean, I don't think it's misplaced, but she has a very elevated sense of self as far as like
Right.
self-worth
Right.
and value in this scenario. Yeah.
I think she has a certain amount of like entitlement because of her upbringing, being raised in like the leadership caste, and also she is highly educated, so she also like she kind of thinks that she is the smartest person in the room at all times, which she might be, in some
Yeah.
areas.
She does something real dumb at the end of this chapter, but
Yeah, there was.
ooh, before this is important. Before we finish, before we really jump into the Tonkee thing. Tonkee thing. Essen has a revelation while she's talking to Alabaster about the Guardians.
Oh yes, I even had that written down. Forgot to mention it. Yeah.
And how they're, because it was like they become contaminated because they have, is it evil earth that they have in them? Is that what
Yeah, it's like
they have a piece of earth in them.
after a while they become too contaminated and they switch sides, and evil earth
Right.
is like talking in their head, and she realizes that's what was happening with the guardian in the socket in Fulcrum. It was speaking for evil earth, and honestly that made me, I need to do that. I want to go back and like reread that with that context to like reread what she was saying. But yeah, and that's why they ripped her thing out of her skull. And I think
But, okay.
so later we'll get to what happened with Tonkee, but I'm like,
Yeah.
was Tonkee about to become a guardian?
Pretty positive that is what was happening. But so does this? Okay, Shafa has essentially switched sides.
Yeah.
So he's a fully contaminated guardian, and so are the other ones that he's with.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that
Yep.
that little voice that he was hearing before is Evil Earth, and he is now on Evil Earth's side, and that is spooky.
Right. I feel conflicted about it being called Evil Earth, but
Right. We don't know enough.
more on that later.
But This is what they refer to it to as
Yes.
English. I can speak English. This is
Yes,
how
yes,
they
yes.
refer to it. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, so that
Okay.
was interesting
So
too.
that was an important revelation now as we go into the
Yeah.
Tonkee thing. So I didn't want to miss that.
And there was a moment when they were heading over to Tonkee where uh, Essen's like talking to the other peeps in the comm, and she had a moment of like, I kind of wish I had brought my kids here when they were young to like a place where origins weren't just immediately killed or thrown over to Fulcrum, because
Mm-hmm.
Yakaw, I think that's uh, YKKA or whatever, however you say her name, the leader of the comm, she she like tells a story about how she was outed as an origin because she like stopped a forest fire. Um, and instead of her town killing her or giving her over to Fulcrum, they were like, how can we train her and like keep her around, because that was really useful. So I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
a town of tolerant people.
Right. Right.
And so then Essen has a moment of like, oh, maybe this comm is different from other comms. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that was a good, like, um, eye opening moment for her. So maybe she
Yeah.
won't be as uh, worried about the comm turning on the origins, even though there's like rumblings of discontent. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. But then they get to the control room where Tonkee is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
Tonkee.
Tonkee. I love Tonkee so much. But
I do too.
like she's
She's a mess.
she's a mess, but she's so fun to read.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So the things we learn in the Tonkee bit, Tonkee has been living in this room for like 3 days and has barely slept, but and she can like decipher some of the, like, not the language, but she can like, it's basically like she can read some street signs. It's kind of like the way,
Yeah, yeah.
like she knows what some symbols mean.
She's
Um,
like, this symbol was here before at this other place, and it meant bad things. So this is dangerous. They're like
yeah,
caution signs.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, so we discover that this place was like a place that like made obelisks or identified like gemstones that could be turned into obelisks,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's fascinating, like a little obelisk factory. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so that, yeah, that's really interesting. There are these little metal shards on the table also, that were that stood out, and basically this all ended with them like telling Tonkee that she's cut off, she can't be in here anymore,
Just to leave. Yeah.
because they don't trust that she would put the lives of the comm over her own like scientific curiosity, which they're right.
Which they are 100% right.
Um, she cannot be trusted to make the right call in that scenario. Uh,
Which she immediately proves them correct
yes, and
by trying to make a run for it
she tries to
and
grab
grabbing one of the shards.
one of the metal shards and make a break for it, and the shard digs into her skin and starts crawling up her arm.
Yeah.
It's like one of the
Yeah.
scarabs from the Mummy movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like working its way up her arm. They try to like cut it out, and then it just digs in deeper where they can't get it
Mm-hmm.
and keeps going up her arm. Ick.
So, yeah. Here, Mike, it ended with Essen cutting Tonkee's arm off.
With with origine. Just
Yeah. Which is wild. And then the shard, like, comes out of the severed arm.
mm-hmm.
It's gross. So, okay. Why couldn't. It's like. It's iron, so maybe that's why Essen couldn't just like grab it
I
with
think
her
maybe I
Chesapeake.
think she had tried. Maybe
Okay.
there was also the reason why it's pretty much confirmed for me that this was about to turn her into a guardian. Probably one on Evil Earth's side. I did air quotes for Evil Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Is because when she was like trying to suss it out, she detected like the magic in it, and
Yeah.
the silvery threads that were coming up from below and like grabbing onto it. silver threads, kind of like what Shafa
Yeah.
has that Nassen can detect.
Yes.
So the silver
Yes.
threads
Ooh. So does that
are
mean that? Ooh. Okay.
so
Ooh.
the guardian things I think are magical, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because Essen realized that those silver thread things were magic, but I think she also couldn't like stop it with her orogeny. I think it was like a different thing, and it was being
Interesting.
powered by something below, which like evil Earth, and that's when she gets kind of like whisked away into like this. She gets kind of like bewildered by it, and she hears the creepy voice. And when the creepy voice was like, "Oh, hello, little enemy,"
Yeah.
gave me chills. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
don't talk to me, Earth. I don't
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Don't talk to
That's
me."
weird. That's weird. You don't like it?
Oh,
Well, you've just unlocked something for me. Is it possible? Okay, so Nason can see the silvery threads on Shafa, but Essen never could. Are the silvery threads directly a correlation between him being contaminated?
great question.
And so they didn't exist before, and that's why Essen didn't see them.
Or is Nassen one of these kids that is highly like attuned to magic and detects magic better than other origins?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple different routes this could go for sure.
Yeah. But fascinating.
Yeah.
Both of them.
But so yeah, I'm pretty sure if that thing had made its way, because it's trying to get to Tonkee's Sesapine, and if that had happened, I think she would have become a evil Earth Guardian,
Yeah.
and that could have been devastating. But
Yeah.
they lopped her arm off, and it rolled out of her artery. Ugh.
Well, it crawled out
Yeah.
and then rolled away. Ugh.
So now they know. Use tweezers when you pick those up. Don't
Right.
don't let it touch you.
Yeah.
Because
That was bonkers.
there were warning signs everywhere. Don't touch.
There were.
And she grabbed
She
it.
just ignored them.
Yeah.
She was desperate.
So then
Yeah.
I did cheat. It's like the first paragraph of the next chapter in the reading.
Yeah. I also looked at that.
They do reattach her arm.
Yeah.
It's not
It's not perfect.
Yeah. Like she's a little twitchy, but it's there at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I also saw that.
Yeah. So, but then we've got the interlude, the spooky Hoa interlude.
Yeah. So we find out what Hoa's been up to.
Dude.
And also, we find out that the Stone Eaters have been trying to devour this calm.
Yeah. They've been they've been circling like sharks. But
Which the first one he got rid of was the red haired one. Which is funny because I was just thinking, we haven't seen that one Stone Eater in a while.
yeah,
He got rid of her.
killed
He
her.
didn't like her.
Man.
He reveals that he is like super old,
He's ancient.
a bit of a legend. And so the only other one nearby that is as much of a legend as he is
Antimony. Yeah.
Antimony. But he's not really. He's like, she's got other things going on.
And
He doesn't seem too. He respects her. He doesn't seem too bothered by her. By her presence anyway.
It's unclear whether they're like on the same side or just on their own sides, and they don't like maybe their goals don't like interfere with each other, so they're not like combative. But
he did destroy 2 other Stone Eaters that were like waiting for her to make a mistake, which he made a point of saying she didn't need me to destroy them, but they were annoying me, so I did.
Yeah, like she does not need my help in protecting herself or what she wants, but if they got to Alabaster, if somehow they had managed to do it, that would have really interfered with like Essen's development.
Sure, but it was also like something like on principle I destroyed them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just didn't like them. So they're gone.
But
they're not like dead.
Yeah, they can't die apparently.
They're just like exploded, and they have to like pull themselves back together over
thousands of
a
years.
long period of time or something.
So
Wild.
that is wild. Is that what happened to Hoa when he like reformed in the geode? Did he just pull himself back together after getting like exploded? But was he the one in the obelisk though before?
I don't think we have confirmation of that.
Yeah. Maybe he wasn't the one in the obelisk. I don't know. I thought he was.
That's been our theory.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Anyway, but there were also some Stone Eaters that were like trying to negotiate, and he like let them think that he was interested, and then he just killed them.
Yeah.
And there's another also old Stone Eater, who's a guy, who is like far away up north, who is working against Hoa and wants Essen. So like there's a bad guy Stone Eater out there that we haven't officially met yet.
Yeah.
That is definitely like an antagonist to
Hoa,
our main characters here.
Yeah.
Or at least to Hoa, yeah. There's also some creepy stuff of like Hoa constantly referring to Essen as his, and at the end, he refers to her as my treasure, my pawn, and like I hope that you'll be able to forgive me, and talking about how easy humans are to manipulate and to use. Oh man, like there's like a whole other level to this that we're not seeing. Like we're down here playing checkers and these Stone Eaters are playing like 4D chess, and I'm like,
For sure.
I feel like there's so much that's yet to be revealed about what's really happening here.
Yeah. So do you think that Hoa is on the side of evil Earth? Or is he on...
Oh, who
Like,
knows, man?
How do the Stone Eaters align in all of this?
I mean, so maybe Evil Earth isn't actually evil, right? Evil Earth just
Right.
wants the moon back. If Evil Earth just wants the moon back, well, Alabaster was pretty convinced that it was a malicious force when he like encountered it going deep in the hole, but who knows? But like,
Because that was just his perspective at the time.
or maybe Hoa is kind of separated from both, and Hoa knows that getting the moon back will help quell Earth, and
Yeah.
so maybe that's the goal he's working towards, but maybe the other Stone Eaters don't want that because maybe like the bad Stone Eater, maybe that one is on the side of Earth and just wants to wipe the humans out to prevent them from, creating more cataclysms in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Many moving parts to this story, but it's very, very entertaining and very engaging. Oh, man.
It's so good.
So, yeah, that was the interlude. It was a really short interlude, but it was the spookiest so far.
For sure. For sure.
Definitely
Quite a few reveals.
necessary because I've been so curious what Hoa's been up to.
I know.
And
where did he go? Wow.
Man, he's out there murking Stone Eaters and saving everyone's butts without them realizing. Craziness.
But he also said that he suspects that I think this audiobook calls her Yika, the main.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, she knows something
Yeah.
that, yeah.
He's like, you guys don't know, except maybe Yika. She might know something's going on.
She suspects something.
I think she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating that I guess the red-haired one was like attached to her, so maybe she's
is gone now.
She suspects because of that.
Yeah, she's just disappeared.
Where's my sidekick? Where's my buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. So, what is the next reading?
Yeah. So for next time, you're going to read chapters 14 through 15.
2 chapters. All right. Cool.
And we're starting off with another Essen chapter. So.
Right. Because we have to read about Tonkee getting her arm reattached.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. That would have been sad.
Yeah. But.
It's sad anyway, but.
Yeah. Well, it was her fault.
It super was. Like.
She did something real dumb. Real dumb.
All her fault. Yeah. So.
And she could even read the warning signs. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. She was desperate.
I still love Tonkee.
Oh, same.
Oh, she's still great.
She's a mess, though.
Yeah.
I do think it's hilarious that she, like, moved herself into that command room, and Essen had no idea. Mm-hmm. She's she was like, Tonkee's so weird. I don't know what she's doing. Well, she's not here.
Yeah. She talked about missing Hoa and Tonkee because they've both been, like, missing.
Yeah.
But
not enough to, like, go find Tonkee.
Just like,
I understand. She's probably like, I'm not going to find Hoa. He's doing whatever he's doing.
Tonkee will be Tonkee.
Findable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She reminds me a lot of Toph.
Toph
from
and
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And Hanji from Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, she's got the attitude of Toph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the, like, insane curiosity of Hanji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very chaotic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, 14 and 15.
Right.
Excited.
Yeah, 14 and 15. Me too.
Cool. Alright, well, I guess until next time, happy reading.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Later.